Well-being and contentment and love is a dominant force. In fact, it's the only force. It's the only variable. There's only one variable, which is love, ultimately. Yeah, so it's the same as like looking at light, yeah, or heat. There's no such thing as light and darkness or hot and cold. There's only one variable. There's heat, and then there's the absence of heat. There's light, and then there's the absence of light. And there's love, and then there's the absence of love. Yeah, so sometimes just framing stuff like this differently in your mind can be extremely useful. Extremely useful. Because this is like the stuff that's kind of like stuff that we never question, so the beliefs, the assumptions that we make, that we never look into and never question, which all of our decisions and all of our thought processes are predicated on. So questioning this stuff and reframing this stuff in a way that's going to be beneficial to us overall is obviously worth the time to do. So I want you to think about anytime there's any negative energy, anytime you feel negative, or what you would call negative, you know, frustrated, angry, don't think of it in the sense of like there's bad feeling, there's binary thinking. Don't think of it as there's bad and good. There's emotions that feel bad and there's emotions that feel good. Okay, it can be useful, like language wise, to say stuff is bad and good, but this is why language is so limiting. Sometimes it can be really hard to express what you mean through words, because especially if this is why I'm constantly working to try and increase my vocabulary and learn new words, because it really helps to articulate things better, express things better. So this is the subject for another video as well, is try to learn the meaning of more words. Try to increase your vocabulary, because then it increases your capacity to learn things, something that I'm constantly working on. But anyway, back to the point. If you think of things in regards to things are on a spectrum rather than binary, black and white, good or bad, it allows you to not have an aversion towards certain thoughts and certain feelings, and a clingingness to other thoughts and other feelings. So sometimes we get into a state of feeling good and we want to cling to it so much that by doing so, the fear of losing that emotion, the fear of losing that state of being, causes that state of being to be lost. Yeah, and sometimes trying to avoid certain emotions and labeling them bad and labeling them, you know, something that you shouldn't feel, then that makes you then feel more negative, what you would call negative. And that, so it's paradoxical. The more you kind of like have an aversion towards something, the more it's kind of probably going to show up, and the more you have a clingingness to something, the less likely it is that you're going to be able to obtain it. Yeah, so this is why it's important to not think in such a binary way, or at least be aware when you are. You know, bring it into your awareness, be aware when you are thinking in a binary way, and it allows you to see it as what it is. It's like an illusion. It's something that's not an absolute truth. So try to practice this on a daily basis. Try to practice every time that you feel an emotion arise that you would you know, deem a negative emotion. Try to realize that it's not necessarily, it has no existence. The negativity has no existence. It's just that you're cutting yourself off from the constant, abundant flow of well-being. I mean, you don't have to look far to realize that well-being is dominant. Well-being is the most dominant force. Love is the most dominant force in the universe. Everything moves around, like cosmos means order. Everything's in order. You know, everything's cyclical, everything works in cycles. Sometimes when we focus down in on the nitty-gritty, on the precise details of things, they don't make sense. If you look at an image in a newspaper and zoom in really close, you'll see there's just like a pixelation of a few little dots that don't really make any sense. It's only when you zoom out and look at it from a higher perspective that you can see the full image. There you get the bigger picture. So keep that in mind, that love, abundance, well-being is the default. That is it's in abundance. Yeah, it's flowing to and through you constantly, and it's a dominant force of the universe, a dominant force in the universe. It's only when you focus on something that pulls you out of an alignment with that cuts you off from that flow of energy, that's when you experience what you would call negative energy, because you're pinching yourself off, you're cutting yourself off from that flow of well-being. So stop focusing on the thing that is making you feel like crap. Yeah, if you're thinking about a subject that is making you feel frustrated, angry, fearful, whatever it is, you either massage your thoughts around that subject to try and make that subject feel better, change the language around that subject to make that subject feel better to you, or you get off the subject and think about something else, talk about something else, focus on something else that makes you feel good, and then you can come back and revisit that subject once you're in a clear mind, once you have a clear mind. Because your mind is not very good at solving problems when it's full of problems. It's the same as your eye is not very good at seeing. If you can see your eye, it's not functioning properly. If you can hear your ears, they're not functioning properly. Yeah, so if your mind's cluttered with problems and thoughts, it's not very good at functioning. It's not functioning properly. You need a clear mind. So keep that in mind next time you feel some negative emotion arising. If it's a daily occurrence for you, if you're constantly getting frustrated, angry, pissed off at things, anxious about stuff, fearful of stuff, depressed about stuff, if that's a constant thing for you on a daily basis, just notice what are you thinking about, what are you focused on, and that is causing you to cut yourself off from the flow of well-being, the abundance of well-being that's dominant in the universe. So you need to notice when you're focused on that stuff as early as possible, and that's the practice of mindfulness. You need to keep being aware of it. So some days you might find that you've gathered too much momentum and it's hard to stop. It's hard to stop the momentum of what you would call negative energy. Then you just need to kind of reflect back on what you were focused on, what you were thinking about, and recognize if it happens again the following day or later that day. And then you just keep trying to catch it earlier and earlier and earlier, okay? And then you'll get to the point where you're no longer cutting yourself off from that flow of well-being, and overall you're going to feel better, you're going to be happier, your body's going to be healthier, and your capacity to give to others is going to be massively increased. I hope this video has helped you. I hope you found it useful. I'm just driving and just had like a little stream of thought thinking about this stuff, so I thought I'd just do a quick video and share it with you guys. So thank you for watching. I know I can't look at the camera because I'm driving, obviously, but yeah, thanks for watching. Like the video, comment on it as well, and share it with a friend if you think someone that you know will find it beneficial. All right, I'll see you in the next video.